What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about how to properly activate the glutes. So when you're doing your lower body exercises, if you're not sure if you're properly activating your glutes during those, this video is for you. So the most important thing when it comes to activating the glutes is making sure our pelvis is in proper alignment. So what we want to look for is our pelvis being in neutral alignment with our spine. So one of the most common things I see is back arch, called an anterior pelvic tilt, where our core is elongated. Many of us as women were taught to, stick out our butt, to suck in that core and kind of pose in this position, but it is not good for our low back or our core rather. So if we're in this position, then all of the pressure and the work is going on our low back, and our core is actually weakening because it's lengthening all of the muscles here. So what we want to start thinking about when we're doing exercises is tilting in that pelvis, making sure we're getting a good glute squeeze, and we want to focus on bracing the core as well. So first and foremost, we want to make sure we're in proper pelvic alignment, and then we want to focus on core being braced and glutes being squeezed. So you're probably wondering, how can I tell if I'm in proper alignment? I can't tell if I'm doing an anterior pelvic tilt or if I'm rounding my back. Some of the easiest ways to tell if you are arching your back and not properly bracing your core, your glutes, is to stand up against a wall, go flat against it, and if you feel there's a little bit of space between your low back and the wall, I want you guys to practice pressing that low back into the wall, squeezing your butt as you do it, and then alternating to regular position. So maybe arching the back purposely for 1 second, and then pushing the low back towards the wall, squeezing the glutes, and essentially practice from going in the position where you feel you are normally to practicing that proper alignment where you're pressing that low back into the wall. So this also can be done on the mat as well, laying down flat on the mat, simply called pelvic tilts. So you'd be bringing it flat on the mat, making sure your low back is pressed, your core is braced, your glutes are squeezed, and then you can try it the other way. So 1 second arched, and then 3 seconds, press that low back into the mat, squeeze the core, squeeze the glutes, and you can do a few of these to kind of practice where your proper alignment is. So once you figure out that proper alignment, you feel like that pelvis is in neutral position. If you were laying on the floor, everything would be totally flat, the glutes would be squeezed. Then you want to focus on every exercise bracing the core and squeezing the glutes. So if we're doing a fire hydrant or fire hydrant toe taps, we don't want that core letting go or letting our back arch. We're focusing on still bracing that core. And if you have struggled with this as well, go to the core bracing video where you learn how to brace your core. So focus on bracing that core, and then as you lift a leg, squeezing the glute, so we're protecting that low back. Same with the squat. If we're in that squat position and we're bringing it down, we don't want our back arching, we don't want it rounding at the bottom. We want to keep that core braced the entire time, and then as we bring it up, really squeeze the glutes at the top, making sure everything is in proper alignment the whole time and we're not letting our back arch. So if you still feel like your glutes aren't firing, you feel like, okay, I got it, everything in right position, my pelvis is aligned, I practiced some pelvic tilts, and you're still feeling a little bit of struggle when it comes to feeling your glutes fire, I recommend doing some simple bridges before you do any lower body exercises, just to ensure that you are getting your glutes fired. So if you're still not feeling it in the glutes, I highly recommend taking it through about 15 to 20 glute bridges and really practice that alignment and the glutes firing. So for a glute bridge, you want to bring your hips up,
again, we're making sure that our pelvis isn't arched. We're bringing it nice and controlled. Core is braced. Squeeze the glutes at the top, and then slow and controlled, one vertebrae at a time, bring it back down so you can ensure you're in proper alignment. So bring about 15 to 20 of these. Really practice feeling those glutes fire, and then you should be ready to go with any of your glute exercises, and you should start feeling it in the glutes once you're in the proper alignment, and as you continue to practice core bracing and glute squeezing. So continue making sure that you're doing the right motions on each one, and really follow the instructions on the instruction video to a T when it comes to us telling you when to squeeze your glutes, how to brace your core. Really tune into when you should be squeezing your glutes, and you should be set to activate your glutes. So if you have any questions on this video, feel free to email us, and otherwise, have fun burning the booty.